How do you block out what the media says about you? Because we've been waiting for Jason Garrett to get fired for a couple of years. He's been on the hot seat for, a few years. Like, how do you block all of that out and just coach?
You can if you have that relationship with your owner. And, I think Jason has that. I know the guys in Pittsburgh had that. I was in Pittsburgh a long time. The fans would get upset, and they still are upset at Mike Tomlin. But Mike can go in and sit at our Rooney's office and say, hey, here's what we're going to do. And Mr. Rooney says, yes, yes, yes. And here's where we're going to go. And then you don't worry about it. But if you don't have that type of relationship, then it becomes hard to block out all the noise because it's constant. You hear it and you're not sure.
Could you ever see Mike Tomlin? Well, you could see him leaving, I'm sure, Pittsburgh, but joining Washington?
No. First of all, you don't do that. You don't leave a stable situation where you've got that ownership behind you and history and tradition and go to a place with a track record that says I'm only going to be there 2 years. It wouldn't make sense, and I absolutely would not see Mike Tomlin doing that.
Were you ever broached with the possibility of coaching the Steelers at any point in your career?
No.
So even after Cowher left?
No, Mike was the next guy. So Dan Rooney called me. We were actually preparing for the Super Bowl, and Dan called me and said, hey, I talked to this guy. You had him a little bit. I want to hear a little bit about him. He really impressed us. And Mike was Dan's guy, and that was, 13 years ago, 14 years ago? And that's the way they do things. There aren't many changes. There aren't many opportunities to coach the Steelers.
But if they did call you?
If they called me when I was young enough to do it, I definitely would have wanted to go there, yeah.
So prior to Cowher?
No, I never talked to Dan in those terms at all. I was young, probably very young, and I was in Kansas City when Bill got the job, and that's when I ended up going to Minnesota with Denny Green. But then Bill kept the job for 15 years. So that's how it works there.
It's still amazing. They've had 3 coaches. When you
in 45 years.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.